Well, hello and welcome to another Faith, Philosophy and Life with me, Mr. Shelton. We're in a unit thinking about Hinduism at the moment, and we thought about life worshipping a mandir, and today we're going to be thinking about worship called puja, which is a sort of classic regular event that happens. And we're going to think about this word behind me, which is shrines. So I want you to think of someone that's special to you, maybe a friend or family, a celebrity, sports star, someone that you follow on Twitter, and just have a think about someone in your mind for a moment on that. Okay, hopefully you've got someone in your mind. I want you to just draw a little picture out with regards to a shrine for them that uses all their five senses. So something you would go to think about that person. I need you to think about the five senses as well, and just do a little diagram and show how that would work. What would you put in it for smell? What sort of smells would you associate with that person? That might be a little bit harder to do, but I'm confident you can give that a good go. What would you see in that shrine? What sort of noises would you hear around it? So spend 5 minutes doing that and then come back to me. Okay, so a shrine is a sacred or special place that's dedicated to a deity that has meaning to someone. Okay, so a shrine is a place that's normally dedicated to a god rather than just someone you look up to, that's got meaning for that. So this is your title, which is How Do Hindus Do Puja? And today we're going to consider what puja is and how it is all encompassing. As usual, do pause me and please make sure you send everything through to your teachers at the end of the lesson. By the end of the lesson, it's going to be good if you can describe what puja is. Great if you can explain how the parts of puja encourage the five senses, and even better if you can evaluate what you think is the most important part of puja and why. And you're going to do that through some homework that I'm going to set you, just because I think it's really important. We're not going to get everything done in time today. So we're going to think in a moment about the steps that puja happens in. We've got a media clip, we've got senses, and then there's a sense table for us to work through as well. So the 6 steps of puja. Okay, when Hindus worship, they usually use shrines to make it a multi-sensory experience. When engaging in Hindu worship, all 5 senses are used and reference is made to 5 elements. Okay, and these are 6 key features. There's a bell, a dish containing sandalwood, food offerings, a pot of holy water, an incense stick, and an arti lamp. And the puja, the Hindu word, is worship. We're going to look at each of those in turn as we go through this lesson. I do want to just say that this isn't actually my lesson. I've borrowed it from different places on the test, which is a teacher forum that we've got access to. So I just thought this was really good. So I put it together and added a few little bits myself. So the first thing we're going to do is show you a clip from Howcast. I'd like you to watch this. This will give you an idea about what puja is. And as I say, we're going to come back to all of this, but I just want you to see it in action to understand it. So let's watch this now.
How to have a puja at home. Hindus offer a puja or worship ceremony every day in the home, typically early in the morning. There's no set program to follow, and rites can be as simple or as elaborate as you'd like. You will need a home shrine with murti, or images and icons of a deity or deities, small brass and/or silver pots, a large metal tray, ghee or clarified butter for lighting the lamps, a standing oil lamp, small lamps with cotton wicks, a deep tray, incense sticks, an incense burner or matchstick, scripture, sacraments and offerings from your tradition, a hymn recorded or live, and bells. Step 1. Avoid consuming food for at least an hour before the puja. Step 2. Prepare items for the puja, which can vary depending on the deities worshipped and individual choice. These can include sacred water or milk, uncooked rice mixed with turmeric, fresh stemless blooms or loose flower petals, and sacraments of one's tradition such as red powder, sandalwood paste, or holy ash. Step 3. Place the items you are using in the small bronze or silver pots, and then place the pots on the large metal tray. Step 5. Enter the shrine with your family. The holiest time for puja is considered to be just before sunrise. Step 6. Use ghee to light the standing and smaller lamps. The standing one usually stays on all day. Step 7. Light incense with a burner or a matchstick. Step 8. Express your devotion to the murti of your selected deity or deities. The images allow direct communication between participants and the deities. Hindus do not worship the murti themselves, they worship God, who is present in the images. Step 9. Place the murti in a deep tray and bathe them with sacred water or milk. Sacred water and milk can be found in stores specialising in Hindu worship items. Step 10. Remove the tray used to catch the sacred water or milk. Step 11. Dry the murti and dress them in colourful clothing. Step 12. Recite prayers and passages from scriptures such as the Vedas. Step 13. If you are using them, smear powder, paste or ash on the murti. The puja leader can also smear these on devotees' foreheads as blessings. Step 14. Make other offerings such as rice, fruit or flowers. Distribute food and flowers to devotees. Step 15. Play a song for the deities. This could be a popular recording of a hymn, known as bhajan, or a family member can sing. It all depends on the type of puja. Step 16. End the puja with arti. Wave the lamps or a tray of lamps in front of the murti in a circular clockwise motion to represent the cyclical nature of creation. Arti is often accompanied by the ringing of bells. Did you know? During a car puja, new wheels are blessed.
Okay, so hopefully you found that useful. So Hindus can worship in many places. Okay, and this is an example of worship in at work, where you can see a shrine on the top shelf there. There you've got the murtis that we've spoken about already, the images of the deities, statues of the gods. Now there can be shrines within the mandir and shrines at home as well. But they generally have the same thing within them. So what I'd like you to do is to look at these pictures. These are incense, a bell, a candle, some fruit, a bowl of water and some powder. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to have a think, maybe write down a sentence for each. How do you think these things help worship? Okay, so the murti image is a picture of a statue of one of the gods that the family specifically chosen to worship. The murti can help the person to focus on their god and their abilities or role of their god, and the murti is washed regularly, so there's a clue there for you as well. So look at those 6 things, maybe write down what you understand by them and say how you think they help worship. And when you've done that, come back to me. Give yourself 5 minutes or 6 minutes, 1 minute per thing. Okay, so I realise that this might be a little bit difficult for you to see, but I filled out the boxes. I'll go through them with you. So incense. The incense sticks are lit to purify and cleanse the air where the prayers are being said and to create a holy atmosphere. If you ever smell incense, you know that it's quite smelly. There's a bell that's rung at the start of puja to let the deity know that worship is about to start. Hindus feel it's unreasonable to expect something as great as a god to be sat around waiting for them to worship. There's a candle. The light's moved around the shrine, symbolising the presence of the god. First they pass over their hands of the flame and then over the head, and that symbolises being covered in the presence of that deity. There's offerings, which on this occasion is food such as rice, nuts, sweets and fruit, symbolic gifts of love to the worshipper to their deity. There's water that's used for purification, and that's offered to the gods, and the worshippers will take 3 sips of it before saying the mantra. Some shrines will have holy water from the Ganges, which is the holy river in India. Kumkum powder. So worshippers make a paste from this powder and use it to mark their forehead, and this is a sign of their devotion to their god and the blessings and the protection of their god. So that's just some information for you, which we're going to come back to later as well. So what we've done so far is we said it'd be good if we could describe what puja is, and great if you could explain how the different parts of puja encourage the 5 senses, and we started to think about that a little bit. We've got some more to go on that, so this is where we're going with that. So what I'd like you to do is to construct a table in your book, and there's in the description below you'll find some information which has got the 6 things that we've spoken about already, and a bit more information for you as well. What you need to do is you need to say how which sense that particular thing affects and how it's used in puja. And when you've done that and you've gone through the table like I've put there below me, or next to me should I say, then I'd like you to create your own guide to puja or puja tray, as well, talking about the senses and how things are done on that. So this is going to take most of the rest of the lesson, so give that a go. Come back to me in 20 minutes or so when you've done the table and you've worked on your own puja tray as well, or your guide to puja. See you soon. Okay, now I mentioned earlier about homework, so yep, I'd like you, there's a puja review sheet that's down there that would be quite useful to do. I'll only do that if your teacher tells you to, but I certainly do want my pupils to do that. So what we said, it'd be good if you could describe what puja is. Great if you could explain how the parts of puja encourage the senses, and even better if you can evaluate if this is the most important puja and why, and that is why the sheet is so important there. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for your time. Take care of yourself, stay safe, wash hands, God bless you, and I hope you've got everything sorted that you need to. See you soon.